Hey everyone, this podcast is part of Story Mode, the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. You can support us and gain access to other great exclusive podcasts like Tom and Jeff Watch Batman by heading over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
Hypecast mit Tom Reimann und David Bell.
Are we doing this? Is this the episode, Tom?
I guess.
Okay.
Hello everyone! Another episode of Hypecast!
Hypecast.
Oh, it's the show where we get hyped about stuff and things. I'm your co-host, Tom Ryman.
I'm your other co-host, David Bell. And
who are you?
I'm the guest, Cristian Ramirez.
Cristian!
Hey!
How's it going?
I'm doing well. I'm hyped. We're
Good.
Yeah.
No, that's ideal. That's ideal. For this particular program.
Hell
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Glad you're hyped.
Oh, man.
Glad everybody's hyped.
Indeed,
And in
yes.
the zone. We're
Merry Hypesmas to one and all.
How's everybody's day? What has
Yeah.
everybody been doing?
I did some gardening with the family. That was good.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah.
Gardening's cool. I
word.
like gardening.
It's a good
I've been
skill.
sitting in the same chair since 8 o'clock this morning.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
sweet.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
A classic.
I washed some dishes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I played a little Valheim. I'm practically have a castle in that game, so that's cool.
Yeah,
you know?
no, that sounds cool. That sounds cool. If only
I killed-
if only that game would let me build a single hut.
It's a tough start, but right now I'm slaughtering Yodas. There's Yodas in the game, and you just slaughter them.
Yeah, you gotta kill Yodas by the stackful because you use it as like binding, whatever they call it, like in between bricks when you're laying bricks. Mortar.
Gotta use their goo.
Mortar. You're not far off. They drop an essential material, so you have to kill them. Like it's like a farming process where you're like, I better go kill some more Yodas because I need more of that precious material.
I need more of their delicious Yoda goo.
Yeah, the game is actually a real bummer when you start to stand back from it because like you go into an area that's like a nice wooded area and you're like, I'll settle down here, and you become like the Onceler. Like I've cut down all the trees in the area. I've like harnessed all the resources.
Fucking Lorak shows up. You kill him too.
Yeah, right, for his precious goo.
Make a thatched roof out of his mustache.
Yeah. That's a weird thing because like we already figured out how to make mortar without killing things in real life.
Right.
Right, but
It's weird that
A
video
lot of
game would
these
make you do
resources don't make any sense.
This is a bigger thrill, though. No,
Oh, okay.
all right. For the record, when you kill the Yodas, the thing that I need from them, they drop like a thing they had on them. So I'm mugging them. I'm stealing from them.
Okay. That makes more sense, I guess.
Yeah.
The funniest wrinkle, I mean, that's a video game wrinkle that's just been funny for decades, but the funniest version of that I've personally experienced is watching a buddy of mine play one of the Final Fantasies, and he killed a crab, and the crab dropped like $10 and a carrot.
Like what was that crab doing?
He was walking around holding a carrot and $10, saying to himself, "They better not try and take my carrot."
Yeah. Where
my
was that crab
$10.
heading? Where was he leaving, and where was he
Where
heading
was he?
to?
What errand was he in the midst of? Where he had $10 and a carrot.
Also, you're describing, I'm assuming it's like a full carrot with like the things, the leaves still on it, right?
That's what
like a Bugs Bunny carrot.
Yeah, that's what they usually look like in these games.
Right. But like if you met someone who was holding one of those, who just had one on them, that would be weird too, right?
Oh yeah, sure. That crab was going down to like the racetrack he's going to feed a carrot to the horse. Yeah.
And then bet on the
$10.
horse.
Yeah.
Oh, he was going to drug the horse. There was a drug in the carrot, and he was going to bet on the horse.
Yeah.
I will say it would be weird, Dave, to run into somebody who was just holding a carrot like that. It would be weirder to run into a crab that was holding a carrot like that.
Honestly, it's not the carrot there, it's the $10.
Yeah.
It's like what's the crab doing with money?
Both
That would
are
be very
incongruous, Dave.
disturbing. Yeah, no. One definitely makes the other weirder. I'm saying that if I saw a crab with a carrot, I'd be like, oh, I mean, maybe someone dropped it on
probably
the ground.
found it somewhere.
Sure.
If you saw a crab with a sack of gold coins,
Yeah, I'd be way more concerned.
was you some kind of pirate crab?
Yeah.
It's a tiny eye patch
Oh man,
covering
that'd be great.
one of his stalks.
Yeah.
He has one peg leg out of the
Yeah.
Yeah, a single peg leg.
Oh, when he like walks, there's like one little every once in a while where the peg leg hits.
Yeah.
Oh man, we invented a character.
Hell yeah. Hype.
Oh,
Hype.
that's how hype we are. We should probably name some producers.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, big thanks to Chiz Lily Tits.
Woo.
Thank you very much for your support. Thank you to Martial Law. Thank you. Thank you to These 7 Bs.
Woo.
Thank you so much. Thank you to Breezy Ruizy. Thank you. Thank you to Davey Francis for the revenge. Thank you to MVB. Thank you very much. Thank you to Phaedrus. Thank you very much. Thank you to Ryan, the Silly Money Goose. Thank you so much.
Let me get a few of these in here, Dave.
Not. Hey, you get us.
Thanks to Chester's Prophet.
Thank you.
Thank you to definitely not Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you to Brian, who Tom knows.
Yeah,
Do.
Brian.
And do.
Thank you to Doc. Wear a mask, you fucks, Garby.
Woo.
Doc.
Thank you to Bob Grenville.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you to Steven.
Thanks, Steve.
To the
Just
point.
Steven, right? Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Thank you to Down Home Chicken.
Oh, nice.
And thank you to Han Toomey, the confused cyborg.
Thank you.
Let me swoop in here and get the back half of this. Thank you to Asking Seven.
Thank you.
Thank you to Hey,
Yeah.
fuck you, I'm Happy Ed.
Thank you.
Thank you to I Was Born to Stare.
Woo.
Thank you to Dracula, the bus driving vampire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Tiger George Pratt Thompson. Raindrops keep falling on my head.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you to Chloe Rice.
Thank you.
Thank you to Dan Hackroyd.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Kool-Aid Man says, get your vaccine. COVID sucks. I have proof.
Oh no, Kool-Aid Man.
Oh,
Kool-Aid Man is jumping up and down on Oprah's couch, screaming about how he's done the research.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're all right, Kool-Aid Man.
Yeah.
I hope you also didn't like give someone
I mean,
COVID.
a big old pitcher of Kool-Aid is a great way to spread COVID.
That's true. That's very true. Man, why did we ever do pictures
I got
of things?
the sickest I've ever been in my life was when I drank some jungle juice at a party, and it was in just a big punch bowl that everybody was dipping cups in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Sickest
that
I
makes sense.
have ever been was drinking some of that.
Oh
Because
god.
you know
just-
when you're dumbass 20 something in one of those parties, you're just like, well, the alcohol will kill the germs. No, it
Yeah.
won't.
right. Now that
No,
thing's
it
just
did not.
like
No,
It's
it
a
will not.
petri dish. That thing is a swamp pond.
Yeah. That thing is inventing new diseases.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So our first trailer is like very late because
It's
it
okay,
came out
'cause
like
they-
the day the last episode came out.
It's actually still relevant because the day we recorded this, they released a few new trailers, including one that's running in front of Godzilla vs. Kong, which it's basically the same trailer except it's the green band version. So it's slightly less explicit than the red band trailer that we got last week.
Right, and we're talking, of course, about The Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
Directed by James Gunn.
And written.
Written. Yeah, that checks out. Everybody's pretty rock hard for this, right?
Yes, it looks fucking amazing.
Yeah, it
Are you
looks
kidding?
fun.
I don't yet.
Stallone as King Shark.
That's
very funny.
If I had to have any critique, it's that I'm mad how charismatic the trailer is. Where it's like, oh yeah, like I hate that it's like I know what you're doing, and it's working. Like that's that sort of thing. It's got a giant fucking shark man in it, so it's like
just wearing shorts.
Yeah,
yeah. Just a giant dad bod shark with like golf shorts on. It's amazing.
He's just tearing people apart.
Consistently the most incredible character in every project in which he appears is King Shark.
Is the idea behind King Shark that he was a man who became a shark somehow, right?
I think it's vice versa, but I'm not positive.
Okay. But like the joke is that doesn't make him swole. It's just he's a shark man, and that puts him ahead of the rest in terms of the ability to fight. Like it's like imagine if he also worked out, you know?
Yeah.
But
I mean,
it's just like
he tears a man in half down the middle in this trailer.
Oh,
he's
got sharks. He's got shark strength. That's what I'm saying. Is that it still puts him above the rest? But he's like
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, he's like a schlubby guy still by like shark standards, shark man standards. If that makes sense. What's the show with shark people?
Street Sharks?
Street Sharks, thank you.
Yeah.
Like, if he was hanging out with the Street Sharks, he'd actually be like, they'd be like, dude, you're getting a little out of shape.
I don't know. The Street Sharks have, like, very skinny arms and legs. Like, I feel like the Street Sharks hit the gym and work out, like, some glamour muscles, but they're not really in it for...
Yeah. I think you need to... I just Googled Street Sharks. I think you need to take a look.
Is it the Vin Diesel one?
They're fucking ripped, man.
Oh, are they?
They're pretty fucking ripped. They're definitely lifting weights.
I apologize to the Street Sharks.
Yeah. They are... they look insufferable to hang out with.
Everything I've seen, they are pretty insufferable.
I would assume that they're really strong, though, because like the Street Sharks can swim through concrete or something. Am I remembering that right?
That rips. Yeah. Do that. Look at this one asshole wearing knee pads. What's he doing?
Yeah, what's he protecting?
You're a shark man. This one's got a fucking belt on. Why are you wearing a belt?
Yeah. The belt really disturbs me because it implies... Like, there's something really scary about a shark man wearing pants because the pants imply shame and then sentience in a way that you don't want them to have.
Yeah, pants in a way that makes me extremely uncomfortable.
Yeah. Pants imply exposed genitals, which sharks do not have.
Right. That is part of it, is they have like bulges. And it's like, oh no. That means that, there's something went really wrong.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
So anyway, the Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad. I mean, what's to say about this? Really, like, I want to see this.
It looks amazing. Yeah,
it's James Gunn just let off the leash. You know,
pretty much. Yeah.
I'm glad we cancel them.
I want to know if like Batista helped recruit John Cena for this, or if like what the deal with that was, because they're the same kind of character. They're both very funny, like straight men.
I think John Cena was probably receptive, right? Because he saw what happened to Batista, and was like, "Oh, I want that. I want that for myself."
James Gunn, I don't know the man personally, but from what I've gathered, he'll do frequent like dumps on Twitter where he shares like some of his early drafts and he talks about some of his writing process. And from what I've gleaned from that, he tends to write at least these movies, like his big comic book movies. With specific actors in mind for each part.
Right.
So
we did see James Gunn, right? You were there for that.
Yeah, we saw him at the Belko experiment.
Yeah, he was at the premiere.
But yeah,
John Cena also does comedy, right?
Yes, he has. I would not be. I am like. I would assume that he wrote that part with Cena in mind specifically.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
And he's he's at the level where he can write a part for somebody and that person will probably take it. You know what I mean?
Oh, for sure.
As long as scheduling permits and stuff. John Cena seems more than up for something like this.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
I'm sure he's going to be good in it.
He looks funny in the trailer, and he was apparently had a good enough experience working with each other that James Gunn wrote a 10-episode animated series just about John Cena's character.
Yeah. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing about wrestlers is they usually don't have a problem making fun of themselves. Like, other than, like, maybe Hulk Hogan, who was, like, really too big for himself at one point. The Rock, Batista, like, they all have made fun of themselves in movies.
Right. Even the ones that don't make fun of themselves, I think there's an element of, like, every wrestler gives me vibes of, like, they're the type of person that, like, if you're hanging out with them and you dare them to climb something, they'll climb it.
Yeah, they're
right.
Yeah, they're carnies. It's that like there's a level of self-awareness even to the least self-aware wrestler because it's all about being attuned to the audience and how they're responding to what you're doing. So it's like, yeah, of course, if you ask them to climb a light pole and like there's 3 or 4 people, there's like, yeah, you should climb that light pole. Probably going to climb the light pole.
Oh, yeah. Hulk Hogan's going to get up there.
Hulk Hogan might even do it, yeah.
Oh, I guess so, man. My knees ain't what they used to be, brother.
Yeah. Oh, my God. That could be how Hulk Hogan dies, right? Like climbing a light pole, hanging off, and then falling into traffic. Mm-hmm. That could happen still.
Probably.
I think, ideally a giant billboard advertising for a wrestlers union would fall on him.
Yeah, sure.
But yeah, Suicide
Any other
Squad.
thoughts on Suicide Squad?
No, it looks fun.
Yeah, it looks fun.
Yeah. Well, I want to get to this next trailer because this next trailer I'm more conflicted about, I guess. This is the trailer for Spiral from the Book of Saw.
Yeah, which was supposed to come out last year.
Yeah. Terrible name. From the Book of Saw implies that we're going to get more of these, and that kind of bums me out.
Like, yeah, was there a Book of Saw? Because I didn't think that it was a book. I thought it was just a movie.
That is a good point. Why is it from the Book of Saw?
I mean,
I don't think there was a book in the movies either. Like, I don't know. Jigsaw was just an old guy with cancer who.
Right. Yeah. This is really bothering me that it's called From the Book of Saw, because that really. I
mean, they could have called it the Saw Saga. I mean, what do you?
The Saga.
Here's Saga. There you go. It was right there.
Here's my pitch. Just call it Spiral.
Yeah.
I know why. Because they
it's called people.
Sure.
Or all right, then call it Saw Spiral. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they want to make it clear it's not connected to the main series.
Yeah. It's if this is if it's like a gritty reboot. I mean, what it seems like is that from what I've heard, Chris Rock was just like, I wrote a Saw film, and some studio exec was like, okay. We weren't doing anything with it, and here you are, you're Chris Rock. So sure.
they've been looking to reboot it after they did the final chapter a few years ago, and obviously if Chris Rock comes along, he's like, I wrote up an idea. They're like, yes, we will do this movie.
Yeah, if Chris Rock came to us and was like, I want to do a podcast,
I'd be
like,
exactly.
I don't care what it's about.
I don't care what it is. Yeah, just get in here.
That said, I'm a little worried about his acting. From this trailer,
he's never been a great actor. He's good at being Chris Rock. He also he suffers a little bit from, and I got some of this from watching The Witches, and I haven't watched all of Fargo yet, but I need to. He kind of suffers a little bit from the fact that so much of his act is based on his voice.
I was about to say he might have the Bill Murray problem, which is that Bill Murray always played a straight man. Or he always performed in a very serious tone. So then when he did serious stuff, it was still kind of funny.
Yes.
Because it was... Yeah. And Chris Rock yells a lot and has a certain tone that he has in this trailer. And I'm like, he's being funny.
Right.
I can't help but to feel like he's being funny.
You have almost a Pavlovian response to Chris Rock shouting. Because you're like, oh, he's being funny now. And no, he's not. It's just...
Right.
We've been watching 20 years of his comedy where his voice is a huge part of his act.
Yeah.
I imagine that must be an issue, when he actually gets mad at people in real life. Or like people don't know him well or something, or they can't tell.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure that's a problem for a lot of comedians.
That's true.
Yeah, it's like kind of Adam Sandler, when he was more serious, he has like more subdued and quiet roles. So he doesn't run into that same kind of issue.
Right.
Yeah, I think it seems like you have to like have a very specific direction if you want to go from comedy into drama, I guess.
Yeah, I'd say
I don't know. I don't. It's not. It's clearly not impossible. I'm just saying it seems to be something that Chris Rock has probably had to deal with.
But it is why I can't tell in this trailer if he's doing a good. Because here's the other thing: is I've seen him in movies where he acts serious. Chris Rock movies, he does have like serious moments or like sincere moments.
Yeah.
But it kind of always worked because it was always kind of a comedy too, what he was doing. This is like a straight up horror. I love, by the way, that Samuel Jackson is his father.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fucking incredible. What a team. Why can't we just see a movie about them being father and son? I don't need a killer involved. I just need them in a house.
I appreciate that the killer is there, though.
Sure.
Yeah.
Because the next best thing to, do you want to see a movie where Chris Rock and Sam Jackson are father and son, is do you want to see a movie where Chris Rock and Sam Jackson are father and son solving a mystery?
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Did you guys notice what was lacking from this trailer?
No.
The puppet.
Oh, yeah. They're leaning hard into the pigs, not so much
They're leaning
the
into the pigs, yeah, which I thought was interesting.
Is that a Saw thing, the pigs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I only watched the first two, maybe another one after that.
Then you dipped out right before the pig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to say, have you guys watched? I feel like I left it just the right time.
Yeah, it gets really ludicrously dense with lore.
Yeah. Unnecessarily dense because it's just yeah.
It's wild how complicated Saw gets.
Yeah.
Seems like there only needed to be one.
Yeah.
Yeah, one's the only good one.
Okay.
By the end, Carrie Elwes is in charge of the Saw murderers. I guess he has seniority over everybody else. I don't know what the deal with that is.
It's like a cult. There's a cult of Saw.
Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will say this about any horror sequel is I always fall on the side of why not, right?
Oh, sure.
If they have one good movie in, it's fuck it, make as many as you want, because we know the game at this point. We know that's how it went. Is I saw the second one and then I was like, I don't need to follow them down this path. I'm sure people will enjoy it, but not me. Yeah, sort of that. Because I watch all the Final Destinations, and I imagine there's people who feel the same way.
Oh well, the lore never gets that complicated in Final Destination.
That's true. Yeah. That's very true.
It is extremely straightforward.
Yeah.
I do remember one of the Final Destinations, though. They were trying to figure out there was, if somebody's born, then that counts as
that's
part two. That's final. Yeah.
Well,
that's part two.
I think. I don't want to spoil it, but I'm pretty sure the twist of that one was nah, none of this matters.
Yep.
Yeah. It was the idea was it was kind of like the fake out in The Ring.
Yeah.
Where it's oh no, it's just she's just a dickhead.
Yeah. No, I was kidding. There is no solution to this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just gonna keep happening.
Enjoy your horrific death.
Yeah. They got to make more of those Final Destinations. I mean,
they really do. Yeah. Sure. There should be one every year.
Yeah. You can do that forever. Yeah, why not?
They really could.
They really could.
Yeah, Eddie, so what are you guys feeling about this? Are you excited? Lukewarm?
I'm excited.
I'm interested. Yeah. I think Chris Rock definitely, he deserves a shot at it. Why not? They weren't doing anything with, like you said, he probably just walked up to a producer and they weren't doing anything with it anyways. So yeah, why not?
Yeah, in a lot of ways, it was a very smart move. I don't know why Chris Rock did this. I'm sure there's an interview where he explains it. I assume he's just a fan of the series.
Yeah, probably.
And it's one of those weird things where I can imagine the creators of the series being like, yeah, I guess Chris Rock really likes our films. All right.
And he's going to make one.
Cool.
Like, and he wrote one? Like, he came up with one?
Yeah.
That's how it feels. Like, it doesn't feel like they came to him.
No, I don't believe that. Yeah, I don't believe that happened. I think this movie exists because Chris Rock wanted it to happen.
Yeah.
Cristian, I think you put it well when you said you're interested. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, sure.
And I mean, Sam Jackson in a crime thriller, that's some good, like, 90s vibes to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I don't want to say timely because this shit's been going on for decades, but the movie seems to be an indictment of police.
Yeah, I'm sure the cops aren't great in it.
Well, it's the killer is specifically targeting all of his fellow police officers, and and the pig motif is repeated.
Oh, right.
And like the game of it is like at one point Chris Rock is like, can I trust anyone in this precinct? Because like I think the point of it is the killer is showing Chris Rock one by one every single person he works with and trusts is actually a scumbag.
Oh, okay. That's solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool. All right, well, next trailer then, right? Rick and Morty Season 5?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, sure.
I'm actually kind of shocked that it's coming out this soon.
Yeah, that's
When's it coming out?
June.
Are you shitting me, really?
Nope. It's coming out June.
They have to, they gotta get going with these, because don't they have like 20 seasons? Like
they got greenlit, I think, for 7 more.
Right.
Oof,
and that feels like that's going to take like 50 years at this rate.
I know they're already writing season 7.
Right.
So they're like on the production side of things, they're ahead.
And they're going to like 10 or 11, something like that.
I think 11 is what they were greenlit through.
They got to churn these out. This is I'm not against Rick and Morty. They obviously have issues with fans and stuff like that. Not so much. It's sort of died down because I think it's just been so long.
There's been so long in between seasons. Yeah, I think this is the shortest amount of time in between proper seasons.
This is
since the show premiered.
How many? Do you know how many episodes it's going to be?
Probably 10.
See, this is. I hate to sound like an old motherfucker, but like TV, this is a problem, right? Like I get when they're like, Stranger Things only like 10 episodes because we're like really telling a specific story. You know, it's like a mini series each season. Sure. But when it's something like this, it's like make 20, like make a lot, because I just want to like have these on, right? Like it's, you know, I've been watching Bob's Burgers or Futurama or Simpsons this way, where it's like, you just watch a bunch of them, you just binge watch them, have them on in the background, etc.
Yeah, I will say. Go ahead.
Oh, just my one issue with Rick and Morty is it's this, where it's like I'm gonna wait like 4 years for 10 episodes, and it's just it's hard to like keep.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to keep your enthusiasm up. I will say the big reason for that is like, what's the difference between those shows you listed and Rick and Morty?
Rick and Morty is more heady. It's more sci-fi.
Rick and Morty's on cable.
Oh, okay. That too, but I would also imagine that
way less money to spend.
Oh, that's very true. I would also say it's harder to write episodes because of that.
For sure, it's a higher pedigree too.
But
they
made 20 episodes of Star Trek per season. Like it's not that. But you're
they
right.
Did
the
20
cable
for Futurama, like that was standard for a long time.
Yeah,
you're right. It's harder. I'd say it's harder to write a Futurama.
21, 22 episode seasons I believe are still the standard for network television. It's cable is just a whole other fucking landscape.
That's very true.
Sense.
But this doesn't feel like
a thing, right?
I assume it's a budget thing. Yeah,
but it's also a trend, right? Like this is just a thing that's been happening.
Yeah, but I guarantee it. Most, if not all, of the examples you're thinking of will all be cable shows.
Right.
That have like the truncated seasons.
Well, and streaming. Streaming is big.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's like it feels like a product of streaming more than anything. I don't know how many episodes of South Park do they do now?
10.
Really?
The most they ever did was season 2.
Okay.
What was that?
It was like 20. Like they did a lot for season 2, and both them and fans will, I think, agree that season 2 is probably the worst season of South Park.
Okay, yeah, I'm looking. Well, I'm looking at the list, and they averaged about 14, and it went down to 10.
It was 13, 14 for a while, and then it went down to 10.
Yeah. It started around 17, 18. They did that for a little while. I'm actually kind of shocked how in the early seasons they couldn't figure out what number it was going to be.
Well, South Park is like the actual process for making a South Park is kind of insane too. Like it would be hard for them to do a 20 episode season because it's
another one like
put them out so quickly as far as like on topical stuff.
It's another one like Rick and Morty where like I feel like it's more intensive writing, I guess. But yeah, like now I'm looking at Bob's Burgers. There's 22 episodes per season now for Bob's Burgers, which I would also argue Bob's Burgers is a hard write.
Probably
they write, every single episode has a fucking song in it. Like so, they all have challenges.
Yeah,
but you're probably right. It is just budget.
Right, I'm sure it's just the budget. Like the stuff about like the pedigree of the scripts and stuff. That's them holding themselves to that.
Yeah.
That's true.
But if they wanted to get 22 episodes of that level, they'd have to hire X number more writers, et cetera, et cetera. You double your cost for a single season.
I guess regardless of the reason, it is still a problem.
It is a problem. Yeah. I mean, it's Rick and Morty premiered 8 years ago.
Here's the other thing:
we have like
talking
40
about,
episodes.
We're talking about budget. When they were greenlit for more seasons, they're the hottest thing. Like, there's no reason they can't get more episodes.
A big part of that is
They should be able to double their episodes per season.
I think it's it's a show featuring it's a show spearheaded by two notoriously volatile people.
Volatile and like at least half of them, Dan Harmon has talked about how he takes fucking forever to do anything. Sure. So it's actually the same with South Park, right? I hear a lot of those episodes, they are like waiting for them to finish writing so they can start animating.
They produce every single one of them in a week. The week.
Yeah, exactly.
They deliver the episode to Comedy Central the day it airs.
Yeah, and I imagine it's like the Venture Brothers, where I heard like Venture Brothers, they're like, we're miserable making these. And so I think it's that too, right? It's just like, God, we don't want to do this much work. But to that I kind of say tough shit. We're like, you're getting enough money.
Yeah, you're doing a dream job.
Sure.
So
yeah, make more episodes.
Let's just be thankful none of them are like George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, exactly. God, I'm so glad I don't give a shit about anything he's doing.
That's the dream, right? When you can get to that level. And George R.R. Martin is just like, I don't give a fuck what any of you people say to me. I can do whatever I want, and you're gonna like it.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, season 5, Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
Good trailer.
Yeah,
it's fun.
Pretty solid Rick and Morty trailer.
They're doing like a Power Rangers thing.
Yeah, that was Voltron.
Yeah. Voltron, whatever. It's all the same. It's a group of people getting into machines.
Oh yeah. The
Voltron's first.
Well, it's specifically the uniforms they're wearing are like almost the exact uniforms from Voltron.
Cool. Should we talk about The Night House?
Yeah.
I guess. Isn't this that movie with Kevin Bacon we just watched?
Is it? I can't tell.
Kind of. It seems like it is.
Her husband made a backwards house.
He made like a reverse house.
I would be so pissed if my spouse made an entirely like a reversed version of the house that we probably spent a lot of money to build.
Oh yeah.
And like the first thing I would do is like go to my account and be like, wait a fucking second.
How much did you spend on this haunted bullshit?
Yeah, on this bizarro house? Are you fucking serious?
Yeah, it's like this seems like somebody saw us and like the Winchester house movie and was like, yeah, sure, we're gonna do something like that. Something in between those two. Why not?
Yeah. This actually feels inspired. My guess is that it's going to be very much like Insidious 2, where it's like, oh, the ghost was me all along. I think there's going to be that. I think the idea is it's going to be like this other because just from the trailer it looks like there was a second her.
Yeah.
Which again, it's like that fucking
the Kevin Bacon one, yeah.
That Kevin Bacon one, yeah.
And The Others, that was movie. One like that, right?
Yeah, yes, The Others. Yeah. I like The Others. The Others, I would argue, did a more elegant version of The Sixth Sense. It just came after, so no one gave a shit.
Yeah. It's the Others is well executed.
Yeah, and it's got Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, she's always good.
It's an obvious twist, but it's well done.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but I think only because of The Sixth Sense.
Maybe. I don't know. You can watch that movie and feel like something, like when her husband comes home, you're like, something's wrrong.
Oh,
like,
yeah, that's fucking weird.
Like you're in limbo or something.
Yeah.
But anyway. I mean, I'll probably end up watching this. I like Rebecca Hall, and I watch a lot of dumbass horror.
I'm 100% watching this piece of shit. Maybe it's great. Maybe it's amazing.
Yeah. It might just be a bad trailer. That's true.
This is the thing about horror now, right? Is like there's just no telling.
Yeah, because they have.
I mean, that's kind of the
like a formulaic trailer. Like it doesn't look any different than a lot of other trailers. So it's hard to tell whether or not it's going to be good. Like this is just how they market horror movies now.
Mm-hmm. It's a shell game. Like they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to.
Yep.
Which one's the shitty one? Which one's the good one? Only one way to find out.
And which one's a weird bootleg of Avengers Endgame where you can see the back of the head of the person in front of me.
Wait, what?
You said shell games, so I was thinking of like the shell games that like Times Square or something.
Oh, okay. Got it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll see this fucking thing. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
I will say there's so many horror movies that are good that people should see there's too many.
Yeah.
That like I should make a list or something, but I'm sure there's a lot of lists online.
Yeah.
That you can just like find on fucking Amazon that was been out for years that you probably didn't see.
Yeah.
That are low budget and like really good ideas.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's perpetually like a Google autofill. It's like what are good horror movies you haven't seen?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
People are so always many. Because people are always looking for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and people are always making them.
Mm-hmm. And they're always getting marketed wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, or they just don't exist. Like what was I'm trying to think of ones that came to mind. The Witch in the Window, that's pretty old at this point. That's a few years. Where it's like these ones that like you don't see trailers for. They didn't make trailers for them.
Right.
Or they did, but they didn't like actually put them before like any movies or anything like that. And there's just these small ass, I don't know. We have a whole section for this later coming up. So like The Night House, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's a crapshoot. We could be good. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like horror movies are made to be like it's better to watch horror movies that are like 2 years old by going by lists of like what are good horror movies. Like let the front lines handle these things.
Right. Yeah, it's like I mean we're far from the first or only people to make this observation, but it's like when we did that video at Cracked where it's like the Oscars should be held 5 years after the year in question. Right. Yeah, so that we really can determine what the best movies actually were.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah, and with horror movies, like it's a budget thing too, right? Like they don't cost as much to make as big blockbusters, so they can put out a lot of them and still get their money back.
Famously cheap.
Yeah.
They're very safe gambles.
Yeah, for this one they just like rented the same house and then just
yeah, it's one location.
Yeah, and like just like put on some reverse numbers on the front.
It's one location and
It's
what
what-
appears to be mostly one actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But that sometimes that works really well. I think we talked about it recently, all the horror movies that take place in the woods. Like The Ritual, where it's like low ass budget just in the woods, and then they do. Like, what budget they do have goes towards creating, like, a fucked up monster.
I was about to say, the monster and the ritual is real good.
Yeah.
That's an awesome fucking monster.
Not super flashy either. You don't see it too clearly, but they had enough of a budget to make it effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see enough of it.
You see enough of it,
oh, shit.
It's like, nope.
Yeah. Star Wars, The Bad Batch.
Yeah.
Sure. I have no connection to the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
I never watched
it.
it.
I've heard it's good, but I haven't watched any of those ones. I still really liked the Cartoon Network Clone Wars that came out a long time ago.
Samurai Jack guy, right?
Yeah, what's his name?
Tartakovsky?
Genny. Yeah, yep.
There is like a whole Star Wars fandom that is Clone Wars stuff.
Oh,
There's
yes.
a whole lore. What is
It's huge, especially with Star Wars fans of a certain age.
Yes.
Yeah, how do they explain that they're not all the same dude?
I mean, you can be just through the circumstances of life. You can grow up looking and sounding very different from somebody who is like genetically identical to you.
But these people don't look the same.
You can tell it's all a version of Tamura Morrison, who played Jango Fett.
Oh, did I just miss that? That's awesome. Then I really like that idea. Then
you can see it. It's more subtle in some than others. Like in the nerdy guy they call Tech, you have to look a little bit harder, but it's there.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I like that because it's like you're all starting from the same mold.
Yeah. And they're called the Bad Batch because I'm assuming like they didn't clone perfectly like all the other ones.
Right. I'd love to see like a Cronenberg version. Yeah. Cronenberg version of the Bad Batch where they're like merged together and shit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The Monster Batch.
Yeah.
The Cronin Batch.
Yeah, the Alien Resurrection version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think there are some in the original Clone Wars series that also like Rex, I think, is a character, and like Commander Cody, who they're all like visibly Jango Fett clones, but they look kind of different from each other. There's probably an in-universe explanation that like Clone Wars fans are shouting at us right now.
Yeah, probably.
I forgot about Commander Cody. That's very funny of a name. Yeah, isn't there like I feel like I wrote about it at some point where like what's so fucked up about these shows is they establish all these different unique clone characters and they make them like characters, like actual characters.
Yep.
But it's all leading to Order 66 eventually.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That's some dark shit.
I think isn't there a character, and it might even be Rex, but I feel like there was a character in Clone Wars who like didn't activate at 66. Anyway,
Probably.
Yeah, I think so.
I that might be apocryphal. I may be pulling that out of my ass.
We're three guys with like a series here that we're just not familiar with.
We've never seen it. Yeah. None of us have ever watched this program.
I kind of maybe it's because of the Samurai Jack thing. Like I don't like the look of this CGI. It looks like cheap CGI.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe it is.
At this point I feel like it must be a stylistic choice because it's the same that they did for Clone Wars and Rebels, which are the two.
I think it's the one became the other. Like the first couple, like I know like the first season or two of Clone Wars looks like dog shit. And it's like I think they released the first couple of episodes as like a standalone movie and like fans shit on it because they're like, this is dumb, it looks terrible. We like the Samurai Jack version. So I think now it has steadily, like they've refined it obviously because they have all of the money of Disney behind them.
It's the CGI equivalent of South Park.
Exactly, where they just leaned into it. And they're like, well, this is our look.
Yep.
It's unique, so let's just stick with it, refine it.
Yeah. And I would argue their look looks bad.
I don't love it. I don't love it either.
Yeah.
I don't love it either, but I recognize that it's a stylistic thing that I just don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has no nostalgia for us, so it's like,
exactly. Yeah, I wasn't a kid when the show came out. Like, I didn't watch it, so it's like
there's a whole like subreddit and stuff about the prequels where I think I remember that painful realization when they came out, which was like, this is gonna be somebody's nostalgia.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
and they're gonna grow up being like, this is good.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, I'm sorry, it isn't. It really isn't. But like,
it's not. But I would rather watch the prequels over the new trilogy any day.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would too. And like,
Sadly, yeah.
Yeah,
I would too. But I think it's because the prequels are bad in a more entertaining way. There's probably a level of a little bit of nostalgia because, yeah, they're more. Yeah, they're somehow more fun, even though they're. Everybody's like monotone.
Yeah.
The whole thing.
I mean, at the
There's
very,
melodrama.
very, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like daytime melodrama.
Yeah.
Yes.
At the very, very least, they're different.
Yeah.
They're different. Yeah,
They're different
They also-
stories.
they do have in them ideas that I would
Yes.
say,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
For
example, the Order 66, dumb name, but like a cool idea. There's.
I think the name of it's kind of incidental. It would have been named whatever it was named. You know, I kind of like the idea of just giving it a sort of innocuous number.
Sure.
Well, I mean, Red Letter Media put it really well with their blanket about how Lucas's thought process probably was, which is that he was like, I need a bad evil number.
666.
666?
Too obvious.
Too obvious.
Take one off.
6? No, that seems wrong. 66? Okay, moving on. It's like, yeah, that's probably what it was.
Yeah.
I'm amazed it wasn't like Order 1138 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's whatever. It was going to be called whatever it was going to be called.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like,
oh, for sure,
Ewan McGregor really gives it his all in those movies. And it's like,
Ewan McGregor is by far the best part of those movies.
It's one of the most. Well, it's not the most interesting, but it's like one of the highlight parts of not the Empire Dreams, whatever the making of Phantom Menace is called, like the saga begins.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That famous making of doc.
Gunn.
He is
where he's showing Spielberg that droid. It's like there's gonna be a feel to this, and Spielberg's just not saying anything.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But there's a moment where you see them book Ewan McGregor. It's Rick McCallum, the producer, is on the phone with him confirming it, and it's like they're so excited once they get him because they're like, okay, now we have a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is like.
Yeah.
There's some great actors, obviously, in the prequels.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking Samuel Jackson's in there, but like Ewan McGregor is like on a different level throughout those films.
He carries the movies.
Yeah,
he carries the movies. You guys want to talk about Wrath of Man?
Sure. This is Guy Ritchie's new movie with Jason Statham.
Yeah, I'm excited.
It's based on a French movie.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
It was originally titled something else too, something really straightforward, like a
like
money
truck
or something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
This is. I'm not sure what's going on here. I'm guessing. It's the idea is he's a armored truck.
An armored car driver. Yeah.
But he clearly was like. A thief at one point.
He was like an assassin,
and he's doing
or something.
Yeah, and he's doing like it for revenge. Like he's purposefully trying to get, like robbed.
Yeah,
so he can get revenge.
I have read, not a detailed plot synopsis of the original French film, but from what I've read, there's like multiple layers of deception in this movie, where it's like his team. Like he's the new addition to a team, and his team is planning an inside robbery, and then he turns out to be operating on this whole other agenda.
It's okay. I was hoping it was like I was hoping it was going to be like the last collaboration they did with Revolver, because Revolver's he wouldn't be allowed to make another movie like that. That's a movie that's like. It's on the level of like Serenity in the weirdness of the end, where you're like, wait, what the fuck's happening? It's one of those. So like, I was hoping this would be that, where it's like it's so weird that they couldn't
be.
I mean,
like,
I hope it's like really weird. Yeah.
I know it's just layers from what I've read. At least the film it's based on is.
No, the fact that this trailer didn't like seemed like it was having trouble.
Yeah.
was a good thing because it was like, oh, you can't categorize.
They don't know
this.
how to market it. Yeah.
Yeah. Guy Ritchie and Statham.
Yeah.
At it again.
Yeah, man.
As long as we get to see him spin kick somebody, I'm there.
I feel like it's a pretty safe bet he's going to kick somebody.
I will say, he is the dude who kicks guys. That's what he does. I will say, I do wish Statham wasn't as big as he is. Or, it's not that, like, it feels like it's Statham has sort of his own, like now it's like a Statham film. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like, it feels like I'd rather see, like, a Lock, Stock type of movie with Statham in it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but this still looks fun. It looks like a dumb crime movie.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And Josh Hartnett was there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
He sure was.
Return of Josh Hartnett.
Yeah.
Is he a monster or anything? Can I
don't think
Josh
so.
Hartnett?
I think I haven't heard anything about him.
I haven't heard.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything about him being a monster. I have heard that he's like not the greatest to work with.
Oh, okay.
Which might be a reason why he hasn't been in a whole lot of movies in the past decade.
Yeah, that makes sense because the thing about Josh Hartnett is he was never like he needed to be on his best behavior, right? Because he was like I feel like at any given time
he's a real Sam Worthington.
Yeah, like, I feel
buddy,
like
there's another one waiting right behind you.
Right, like if he even complains at like craft services, they'd be like, "Nah, get out of here."
Yeah, we can get another generic, like fake ass handsome white dude with brown hair.
Another skeezy honky in here.
There's a million of you guys.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He was all right in Penny Dreadful. I liked him there. I like that whole series.
Okay.
Though. The first season of it. I haven't seen the second.
Yeah, I'm not against Josh Hartnett.
No,
it's just
And that one, had
I just
Timothy
don't know
Dalton.
if I can root for him.
And Timothy Dalton was real good in that one.
Was he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You like it? It's spooky Victorian shit.
Sure.
Yeah, man.
I'll get into that. Fuck it. I don't give a shit.
Make Timothy Dalton a Dracula, and then we're talking.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But yeah, I don't know. This is if you like Guy Ritchie, bam, you got it.
Yeah,
you got Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man.
Yeah. And I do like it's so juvenile, but when Statham's just like murdering, shooting those guys, not giving a shit, I'm like, oh yeah, oh,
he's back, he's
back, baby, Statham. Final trailer for Zola.
Zola.
This is based off a tweet.
This is based off a Twitter thread. Yes.
Really? Okay.
Oh yeah.
Here's my guess: is that it's based off a Twitter thread as far as it needed to be for the publicity. Because I think that was really good publicity. This looks great.
Yeah. It looks like a real-ass drama.
Yeah, the two actresses in it, they're fucking killing it. They deserve a reward just for this trailer. Like, this looks like fucking out of control. I don't know what this is going to be.
Yeah, because I never read the thread that it's based on, so I truly have no idea where the story is even going to go.
It just looks. It's like a darker, grittier Magic Mike or something.
Yeah,
like
it had real like Spring Breakers kind of vibes to it too.
Yeah, but the thing that stood out was the two main actresses were just fucking phenomenal. Yeah, this is like. I'd say probably the most hype worthy. I don't know. Like this blew me away more than watching that shark rip a person in half.
Sure.
Where I was just like, this looks fucking.
It's a very different way that it blew me away.
Yeah.
In a different way, yeah. But I'm very curious to see what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Yes.
No more thoughts?
I mean,
are we done with thoughts on
I feel
Zola?
like the trailer was just tip of the iceberg on this one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to talk about it.
Yeah.
Go watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on to stories. We pumped through these trailers. We've earned it, right? We've earned moving on. Well, first we got some Patreon producers to thank. Thank you to E.T., the extravagant terresticle. Thank you to Cody Johnston's Time Machine Noise.
Yeah.
Thank you to Pete Vorpagel. Thank you very much. Thank you to Glitterous. Thank you, Glitterous. Thank you to Thanks for having Jason Pargin on. Here's $25. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Thank you to the Midnight Patron with patrons at midnight. Thank you. Thank you to Exploding Runes.
Woo.
Thank you to Andrew. Andrew, how? Woo. Thank you. Thank you to Vincent. Thank you, Vincent. Thank you to Rev MD. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
All right, let me take the wheel. Thank you to John Muniz. Thank you to Wavy Rancheros. Thank you to Dr. DNA.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you to Lauren Gucci.
Thank you.
Thank you to James Rainey.
Thank
you to Bootler Bootlesson.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you to Grumblebee.
Woo.
Yeah.
Thank you to Tux.
Oh.
Thank you to Ricky Cilantro.
Hell yeah.
Ricky.
And thanks to Norm from Cheers.
Norm.
All right, so we got some news stories.
Speaking of what we've already been talking about, they announced the cast to the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. This happens to me regularly. I was like, Joel Edgerton, that's a weird choice. And then I remembered.
Yeah.
We got Kumail in this.
Yeah, Kumail's running around in there.
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, we knew he was going to be in it.
I want them to throw somebody like Keira Knightley in there, who was also in a Star Wars already, but
yeah. I don't know.
It looks it's a good cast.
Yeah, it's got O'Shea Jackson Jr. It's got fucking Han from the Fast and the Furious is in there.
Fuck yeah, it does. I'm really the one cast member that worries me, and not for the reasons that people might think, is Hayden Christensen. Only because I really I think someone was tweeting about this too. I really don't want more. If Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight ever in this series, they've fucked up, right?
It is
that's
literally making a plot hole in episode 4.
But there's I think this is why all the new Star Wars stuff sucks. They have no self-control.
Right.
They have to. They keep adding and adding. It's Rogue One, a movie that a lot of people like. It still felt like they're sucking the marrow.
Yeah.
They're like, what about this quick moment? Can we get Darth Vader in there? Can we do that? How much more can we fucking electrocute this dead horse so that it looks alive? So they're going to be itching to get Darth Vader
for sure
fighting Obi-Wan again.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a Boba Fett in there. There's going to be all sorts of shit. Yeah.
As much as I like The Mandalorian, I would argue also, Boba Fett, it worked. It worked fine, but it was still we need Boba Fett, god damn it. It becomes the weird thing where it's the thing we've always said. It's this vast extended universe that they talk about, and yet it involves the same 6 people.
Yep. Over the same 30 years. And that's it.
And I do not care what Obi-Wan was up to during these years. Just like I don't care what Yoda's doing in that swamp.
Right.
The point is that they were in exile and they became old, and that's the point.
Yeah.
Right? That's the whole thing. Obi-Wan, the answer is he shouldn't have done anything because that's the point of the character.
He was hiding and protecting Luke. That's that's what he was supposed to be doing.
He absolutely wasn't going on adventures.
Yeah. Because then what's the point of him being there?
Yeah.
If he's just going to fuck off to another planet.
It really feels like at Lucasfilm they have a timeline, and there's some executive being like, oh, there's a blank spot. Let's make a show there. Oh, there's a blank spot.
I mean, that's probably not completely inaccurate.
Yeah.
No, not at all. And they're just trying to find... And the end game will be, Obi-Wan never had a single moment of rest. That's what it becomes, where it's
they already
never
did that with Star Wars Rebels. They had Obi-Wan in it. He's he fights Darth Maul again in that series, and they're like, okay,
right.
And what else do we have to actually fill in?
Right. It makes it so that there's no special moment.
Right.
These characters have just been continuously clashing and interacting for decades. So like when Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fight in A New Hope, it's meaningless. It's like, oh yeah, I saw you a couple years ago.
Yeah.
You know, like that's what that means if they do this. So I don't know. It's a great cast. I wish the show didn't exist, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like it can exist if it wants to. I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
That's true. That's a good point.
It does make really silly like plot holes and stuff though, because like Chewbacca knew Yoda and shit like that apparently, and like
R2D2's got a lot of shit that he's been keeping to himself.
It's been stupid since the prequels. Like it's okay. This just doesn't make sense for these characters to be like, oh, Anakin built C-3. What?
There's still been only about 2 solid Star Wars movies.
Yes.
Yeah. So whatever. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
At this point, who gives a shit?
Yeah, I don't care anymore.
Yeah.
Right. They broke us. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Lucasfilm.
So it's just like it's fine.
You
like I'll
fucking broke us.
I can watch the Obi-Wan show and laugh at the plot holes it will probably create and then just continue on with my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I was
what were
just
you
gonna say?
say?
Just give me like a fucking Hutt crime drama. Like I want something else.
That's the thing is I think what makes it a bummer is it's like when Bane's got Batman down there and there's the hope that you can climb out of the hole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's what the Mandalorian is, right? Like that's the thing is they were like, oh, we know what you want. Here it is. We're just not going to give you that most of the time. Where it's like, oh, here, look, it's a completely independent story that takes place in the Star Wars universe. And even in The Mandalorian, without spoiling too much, they still were like, let's bring back the original series people. But like, like they seem to know, like they don't care.
Yeah, they know they have the potential to like, oh yeah, we could give you a series that's like a spy thriller or something that's going on Coruscant, and they know they have the ability to do that. They just never do it.
Yeah. They just don't do it.
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
I
just don't care.
All right, next story. Adam Wingard is going to be directing Thundercats because they officially stole Adam Wingard from us.
Gotta get paid.
Yeah. At the same time.
Thundercats, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whom do they imagine?
I don't know.
Is chomping at the bit.
Well,
for a $100 million Thundercats movie.
Here's my argument against that. Is we just got excited for the Suicide Squad trailer.
Sure.
Is like anything could be good, right?
That's true. Yeah, anything can be good.
It can.
If they were smart, they would tell Adam Wingard to do whatever he wants.
Yes.
But I'm not.
Well, maybe they are because Kevin Smith is doing that He-Man series for Netflix that he apparently had just carte blanche to do.
You know what it kind of reminds me of?
What's that?
Adult Swim, where they were like, we got this character. Do you want it? You can do whatever you want. And they make like Harvey Birdman.
Yeah.
Or they make C-Lab, where they're like, here's some old animations. It's just sitting here collecting dust. Might as well fuck with it. If they're smart, they'll do something radical with it.
Mm-hmm.
The Kevin Smith He-Man's probably the same, right?
I hope so.
I assume so, yeah. And, they just had that She-Ra, Princess of Power show where they let the creator of that do whatever she wanted. So maybe they are going to do that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there's just not, like, it's not even really like a hot button property. Like you couldn't even make
like that's all it was.
Yeah. You couldn't even make the argument that it's like, well, I mean, you still can make the argument that it's a pre-existing brand, but it's not like it's not even really a ubiquitous one. Like,
right. It's not going to move the needle.
Dumb. Right. Like even as something as dumb as Battleship, everybody knows Battleship.
Yeah.
Like a very specific group of people are familiar with Thundercats. It's like you had to have grown up in a specific window of time.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows what Thundercats is.
Maybe.
But
I don't think younger people do. Like, why would they?
Yeah, why would you?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
But yeah, it's whatever. Like, I don't know. Maybe it'll be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it definitely won't last more than a couple movies at best, right?
Because they're marketing it like we are the three of us are exactly the people that they would think would want this movie, and we don't. Like, we don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so hard to nail down what works and what doesn't, and I think it's because of things like Marvel and superheroes, where like they introduced a lot of stupid elements, but the secret is always have compelling characters, right?
Yeah,
that's always the secret.
Yeah, make something good.
Yeah,
make a good story.
Write an interesting story. Yeah.
Because I look at stuff like G.I. Joe, those movies, and I look at stuff like the Godzilla, the new one directed by Adam Wingard, and like it really comes down to like any of these could be properties that go out of control, that become a big thing,
mm-hmm.
but they just aren't charismatic enough with the characters. That's usually the problem.
Right. It's usually taking this property and fitting it into an established roadmap for blockbuster films, and that automatically, just by default, that process drains the charisma from anything.
Yeah, and it's weird how many movies, I think it's just the writers they chose. I think about like the Tom Cruise Mummy remake. It's so lifeless.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so boring, and like, or like the first Godzilla, where it's like, so you didn't think to have a single interesting character in this, huh?
They did. Like, they kill him in 30 minutes.
They kill him in 30 minutes, yeah. It's like, so that was not, it was just not a thought.
Yeah.
Making this is like, make them funny. And maybe they just don't get funny enough people to work on them, like, but it's like,
well, a telling,
don't take yourself too seriously.
Yeah, a telling thing is you can look at the credited writers and producers behind a lot of these properties over the last decade, and it's like the same 15 names.
Yeah, exactly. It's the problem with a lot of things. It's the problem with diversity in Hollywood as well.
Yep.
Is that it's all this? It's like 20 white guys at the executive level making all the decisions, and that's
It's why we're gonna keep getting fucking Peter Pan movies until the sun fucking collapses, because they don't
until they die.
Because that's a recognizable brand, I guess. Like, everybody knows what Peter Pan is, but there's no good movies. Like,
no, it's that King Arthur and what's the other one?
Dracula.
No, there's another big one that they keep remaking all the time.
Robin Hood?
Yeah, I would.
Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is the secret to Marvel, right? It's that their executives, I think, are fairly young, are a younger generation, maybe Gen X. And the secret is...
I think that's true for Feige, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like the secret is they just let the people they hire make the movie.
Yeah.
Meaning... They say, hey, James Gunn, do your thing, man. Jon Favreau, you seem to have a good head on your shoulders. Just or Shane Black, write a Shane Black movie. And that's really it.
For the most part, there's still some like Iron Man 3, for example, has a famous bit of meddling. Rebecca Hall was the villain in the original version that Shane Black was making.
They meddle with the style. They meddle definitely with the look, with the having to have specific things happen and so on. But when it comes to like the jokes, like this, they're not afraid to make them feel like unique styles, right? Like there's Shane Black jokes.
Yeah, and
in
then
Iron Man 3.
Taika Waititi's Thor Ragnarok. Yeah.
For
sure.
Like that's really the secret. Is like without going too much into the new Godzilla versus Kong, it felt like they got Adam Wingard, and then they're like, "But you have to make it like everything else."
That makes sense.
And there's that problem where they get unique directors and writers, and then they're like fit into this box, and that clearly isn't working.
It's exactly what we were talking about. How they're trying to shove all these properties into the same template. Like they're just making the same movie over and over again with a new coat of paint.
Yep.
Right.
And now we're going to get
really
Great
the secret...
Gatsby because it's in the public domain.
Right. Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that shit. Final story. You guys might not care about this, but they're remaking the film Sputnik.
I mean, the trailer was good.
Did you,
like the one that you
film
linked
that
in there.
just came out.
Yeah, it's Russian.
So they just wanted an English version of it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they do. Sputnik is a fun film if you guys haven't seen it.
I have not seen it.
Good.
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, me neither. But the trailer looked good, like the one that's in there.
Oh, is it? Yeah. Who's making this one?
Matt Reeves is attached.
Mm-hmm. Shit. Why do I know that name?
Planet of the Apes, the Batman.
Yeah.
Oh. Matt Reeves, he can do some gritty shit. He could pull off Sputnik.
He did X-Men First
They
Class
shouldn't make
too,
it.
right?
They shouldn't be making this.
I believe. No, wait. Was first? I thought First Class was Matthew Vaughn.
Matthew Vaughn. Yeah. Okay. That's who it was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and he did Let Me In.
Yeah. Okay.
This isn't a case. That's what Let Me In was. It was them being like, we like this movie, but what's all that writing on the bottom of the screen? We should probably remake this. And then they gave it to Matt Reeves. I will say Sputnik is a little more able to be remade because I don't think a lot of people saw it, and it's not perfect or anything. It's not precious. I would say It's just kind of a straightforward sci-fi. So if they remake it, it gets more people looking at the original.
Yeah.
I mean, good for them.
The original creators will probably get some money from this.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can use that to make. Yeah, I think we had this conversation, a year ago about the American version of Parasite that will eventually come out.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Unlike the American version of Parasite, Sputnik is kind of the country. Like there's a big it's space race and it's Russia. And that's a very specific time and place.
And it's called Sputnik.
Yeah, it's called Sputnik, but they'll call it something else. Sputnik, actually, that name doesn't matter too much for the plot, but like, that's going to be missing from this.
Sure,
obviously. But other than that, yeah, I don't know. Everybody go watch Sputnik.
Are they going to call it Apollo 19?
I hope so.
Oh, they better. They fucking better. Fucking rock monster crawling out. Should we thank some more producers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you to Space McNulty. Thank you very much. Thank you to Hiram.
Woo.
Thank you to Great, It's That Guy. Thank you to Nolan Mayton. Thank you very much. Thank you to Normal Man Andrew McGuire. Thank you. Thank you to Ozzy. Thank you to AJ.
Woo.
Thank you to Tip Drizzle.
Woo.
Yeah, thank you to Frank Lee Amish. Thank you very much.
Woo.
Woo. Woo.
Woo. Let me jump in here. Thank you to Burrito Mouth. Thank you to Mrs. Voidus.
Thank you.
Thank you to the Ghost of Dave Thomas. Thank you to Aaron Burser.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to David Knife Boot Hinson, MBA CPA.
Yeah.
Thank you to Christopher Robert Sparts, Esquire.
Thank you.
Thank you to Mackenzie Righteous Hand of the Lizard People Chill.
Yeah.
Thank you to Funky J.
FJ, thanks.
And thanks to Pie Guy.
Pie Guy.
Dave, you miserable son of a bitch.
That's accurate.
Yeah.
That's accurate.
Do you, by any chance, have a movie that possibly could use a little bit more hype?
You know, I sure do, Thomason. This is a movie, period.
Yep.
It's called Bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
One word, Bloodthirsty.
What?
This is,
why did you say that like Nathan Explosion? Bloodthirsty.
I mean, it does sound like a Metalocalypse song, or a Deathclock song, rather. This is hanging in there at a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes currently. I think it's only played festivals. It doesn't have too many reviews. But this is coming out April 23rd on the streaming. And this is a fucking werewolf movie.
Yeah.
It's about a singer who gets these like weird dreams where she becomes an animal in her dreams. and she goes to this famous like producer's house to record her first album, and it becomes clear that the producer is like has some weird like satanic thing where he thinks she's gonna unlock this like other world or something like that, and she's fucking turning into a werewolf. But it's like it's like a real grotesque mix where it's like a werewolf person. It's got a good like it's solid makeup in it. So I don't know. What do you guys think? This trailer looks pretty badass.
Yeah, I love. Yeah,
I like to look at this trailer, and it, like every horror movie that's coming out right now, it seems to be about something else.
Yeah,
yeah.
For sure.
This director, Amelia Moses, she made another movie that was on Deserves More Hype that I never saw, and in fact, I didn't know it was already out. The movie was called Bleed With Me.
Okay.
It was the one where the girl is in a cabin and she's convinced her best friend is stealing her blood.
Okay.
And
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, it looks kind of similar to this in tone.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of worried about this woman who wrote and directed both of these.
Yeah, both of them in a cabin.
It's like
out in the woods.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't write Bloodthirsty, so there's that. But yeah, it does. It feels like there's a theme going on here. But yeah, I don't know. This looks fucking rad.
Yeah,
I'm really liking the look. I got to watch both of these films now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. The trailer really got me in a couple parts, like when she drinks the blood out of the steak. I was like, what's going on?
Oh yeah. That was solid. You guys ever see Raw?
I have not seen Raw.
No, I didn't watch Raw.
Y'all should watch Raw. That's a fun fucking movie. That's a movie about cannibalism. That's it's got a lot of blood steak moments in it. Because it's the same thing. Because Bloodthirsty, by the way, the woman's a vegan, the character. They love doing that. They love it. Raw is about a vegetarian who accidentally eats human flesh and then just can't stop doing it. It's pretty solid. I love this premise.
Yeah.
It's a solid premise. It's a strong premise.
It is.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, everybody check out the trailer for Bloodthirsty.
Yeah.
One word, not two. Just the one.
Man,
yeah, that's good.
I'm getting like a grooming vibe from this.
Yes, I think that is.
Yeah.
It's implied for sure.
Yeah, young singer-songwriter, creepy ass, notorious, middle-aged male record producer. It's that's
yeah. I'm a movie that comes to mind is Starry Eyes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, where it's like you want to make it in this industry, you got to kill all your friends.
Yeah, man.
Everybody check out Starry Eyes.
Check out Starry Eyes. Yeah. It's about the death. It's about the death of self by way of murdering all your friends for your big Hollywood opportunity.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, that's a sode.
Yeah.
Cristian, thank you so much for being on the show, man.
Oh yeah, of course. It was a great time.
Yeah,
it's always good to have you. Yeah, what do you want to plug? What do you want to
plug? Tell the world something.
I guess my Twitter is the biggest thing for me. At Fanboy Cristian, that's Cristian with no H. And I'll plug my stuff on Small Beans. I did a bunch of stuff with them. I mean, if you're hearing me here, you've probably heard the stuff that I've done with Gamefully On. So yeah, and Small Beans has a merch store now on TeePublic. So check that out too. Yeah. Buy stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Spend your money.
Yeah. Consume.
Yeah.
Buy stuff. We say this all the time.
Mm-hmm. We do. We do say it all the time. Why don't you say it again?
Yeah. Speaking of which, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/GamefullyUnemployed. You get exclusive podcasts on there for just $5 a month. You can listen to Tom and Jeff Watch Batman and Fox Mulder as a Maniac. And a third thing coming out literally today. The day you listen to this, there will be a
lucky ducks.
new podcast out going on both the Small Beans and Gamefully Network. We are me and Mikkel Swaim are doing a podcast together, and we're going to alternate between both of our networks for episodes.
Yeah.
It's called
check that out.
Synergy.
Yeah, it's Synergy. It's on that same subject. It's a crossover show about Star Trek and Futurama.
Yeah.
So fucking get into that.
Yeah, get all the way in there. We also have a store that you should get all the way inside of. tpublic.com/stores/gameplay unemployed. We can get t-shirts, masks, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of stuff. Check it out.
Absolutely.
There is cool stuff in there.
Money.
Do it.
Money, please.
Capitalism. How about it?
Yeah. Yeah. Or let's all fucking live in tents and
that'd be pretty rad too.
Do drugs. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of need the internet, but yeah.
Well, we can keep the internet. I just want to do drugs in a tent.
But I have to be in a tent. I kind of like my house.
All right, we'll do drugs in a house.
Let's be in a tent in your backyard, Tom. And,
see, what I'm doing is I'm demonstrating how capitalism eventually corrupts everyone it touches.
Oh, that's smart. That's smart.
Yeah,
Point is, do drugs.
Yeah. Oh,
all
man. Right. Say goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.
Bye. Our music is produced by Chris Corlew. You can follow him on Twitter at @thecorlew, Corlew, and find more music at shipwreckedsailor.bandcamp.com. Our artwork is produced by Justin Brown. You can follow him on Twitter at @JustinTBrown, and find more of his artwork at artnessbyjustinbrown.com and justinbrown.info.